playing against that lake. Right next to the Eldora ballroom there when I was a little itty bitty kid.
By the way, I do love your YouTube channel.
Thank you.
That's very cool. I watch it all the time.
Awesome.
What do you do your editing in? You do it right on your phone, or how do you do it?
I have an iPad and I do it on iMovie.
Oh, that's how I do it.
Awesome. iMovie's nice, right?
I mean, it's easy. That's
it's
why
simple and it's free.
It's simple. It's easy. It's like video editing for dummies.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about
absolutely.
myself.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, you've had a great career, and I know it's still ongoing.
Yeah.
What do you hope to accomplish? Where do you want to go?
It would be neat to end up in an all-star ride, a wing car ride, maybe do some outlaw stuff. I mean, I think that's the pinnacle of what I'm doing anymore, dirt-wise. But I've always ran non-wing, and so then it's just kind of that's where my rides have always been. So it would be neat to get a wing ride and maybe get a chance to run here, 4 Crown with a wing. But you know what? I'm really happy with where my career is headed and where it's been. I grew up a kid in San Jose that watched sprint cars and never in my wildest dreams thought I was going to be able to drive them. My family didn't have a lot of money. We struggled to go quarter midget racing, and here I am doing what I always wanted to do. So
how did
I feel
you get
like
these opportunities? You didn't come from money. How'd you do it?
Just persistence. You got to be there, and I did have rides. My dad built me some midgets, and I was able to get experience. And so, like, if you're racing for your dad and you get a chance, like there was a kid last night, Magic Mike. He was down here at a D2 midget, and you know what? Hats off to those guys because they didn't have a chance, but it didn't matter. His dad knew that getting him laps around Eldora was more important for his son down the road to ever get a ride, And so I had experience, and I just kept at it. I was a crew guy, and I kept at it. I finally built my own sprint car in 08, ran my car 12 nights in Indiana because I moved from California. Well, nobody knew me. I ran 12 nights in my car, was able to get a ride in 09, and that was it. The 12 nights and the money and effort I put into my car has changed my life. I drive race cars for a living now because and it took me a year and a half to build it. I'm a contractor. I lay floors. I spent all my money for a year. I built a car, and then I had a friend back home that helped me buy a motor. And then when we got done with it all, I sold my car. She sold the motor, and I gave her the money back, and I started driving race cars for a living.
So you work outside the industry. You said you still?
I don't anymore.
You're not a contractor anymore.
I am, by trade a contractor, but now I just race cars and YouTube.
Yeah. Can you make a little money on your YouTube channel?
It's starting to make a little bit of money. I haven't actually got any money, but
are you going to keep doing it?
It's still, what?
TmezTV on YouTube.
It's been going really good, and I've created something from nothing, because before I started doing this, there was no TmezTV, and there was no place where you could go watch on YouTube the way I give content. So I feel really good about the way everything's going, and I'm going to continue to do it because I'm in a good spot, to get out there to so many more people. I feel like I'm actually reaching more people that don't even know sprint cars exist.
Yeah, you're really creating a brand, the Tmez thing.
Absolutely.
Did you come up with that, the Tmez?
Dean Mills did. He's a video guy for Flow, and so they called me Mez, and Meseraull was so long on the car, and so then he always called me Mez, and then he started calling me Tmez, and then it just clicked.
Yeah.
It got on one car on the visor, it's 4 letters, and you could see it, and then I didn't even really like the name, really, but because my name is Meseraull, and it doesn't have a Z, but every car I got into after that had Tmez on the visor, and so then
that's cool.
Tmez was born.
And finally, what are you going to do in the off season? What's the off season hold for you this year? Do you have a plan?
The off season, we get to go midget racing, indoor racing, so we do have a pretty busy off season for living in the Midwest. We go out to California, and I don't come back home until I think November 5th. So my season ends November 5th, and then Chili Bowl is January.
Sure.
So it's a pretty. But so what do? I try to relax, I would like to go to vacation in Florida. I never have, but I actually saved up enough money to go do that this year. Hang out with my kids. You know, the summers are so busy. I really just try to spend quality time with my family.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
Oh,
I
awesome.
actually have 3 kids, but I raised 2 kids, and then I have a daughter back in California who races micros.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Does it feel good when you go home to San Jose? Does it feel like you're home?
It does. You know, it's a lot different. California's changed, and
Yeah, it has.
and so now home feels like Indiana, but I'll always be from San Jose, California. I've had people ask me, well, why don't you change? You're from Indianapolis. I'm like, no, I'm always going to be from California, you know, so that'll always stay there.
Yeah, that's so cool. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate you.
Hey, thank
and
you.
I'll certainly wish you all the best here tonight.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tmez. He's good.
How do you like working at Eldora?
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Let me get a good shot. What's Jets? Jets softball?
Franklin Monroe. Yep.
Where is it?
Franklin Monroe.
Where is that?
Up by Arcanum.
Okay.
Down by Arcanum.
And I still don't know where it is.
It's between Greenville and Dayton.
That helps a lot. All right. That's going right to the top of the video. Is it kind of like flying an airplane?
No, it'd probably be closer to a helicopter, but even then, still not
Yeah.
totally the same.
How long have you been doing this to be as good as you are? And I know you're really good.
Years.
Years.
So,
Is it lots of practice in the cornfield before you get to the track?
I practice a lot on the computer,
Do you really? Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
but yeah, usually it takes about 20 hours of practice before you can kind of fly in a cornfield without crashing,
Yeah.
and then yeah, a lot more than that to be able to.
I mean, you're chasing race cars, dude. How fast will that thing move?
This one doesn't go very fast, but the other ones are a little faster.
How fast?
80, 85, still not as fast.
I think it's so amazing what you guys do with those things. I'm sorry, you live where?
Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, cool. Hometown of Jack Bowser. The Bowsers.
There we go.
I'm trying to quit.
Oh,
A
okay.
piece of toast. You're the first person at Eldora that ever asked me if I wanted a piece of toast.
That's already done 3 laps.
3 laps?
That's done 3 laps here.
Piece of toast? Went for a ride?
A lot harder coming back because of the wind.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Nice soft landing. Good job, my friend.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time.
Yeah,
I
of
appreciate you. I really admire what you guys do with
Thank
those.
you.
Yes, sir. I might have to root for this guy today.
Mystery man.
Yes, sir.
How are you, buddy?
Very well, thank you. That might be the coolest sprint car. He's my favorite president, you know.
There you go.
So hang on, say that again. You're not siping, you're grooving.
Grooving.
You're
We're
grooving. We're both grooving today. Do you crew chief a winged sprint car differently than a non-winged sprint car? Is there anything to that?
Well, I think today's world, you know, the wing sprint car world is such a different place than it used to be. It's so aero. There's so much aero involved in positioning your car in the right positions and trying to understand what you do. The non-wing car doesn't really involve aero. It's more mechanical grip you're working on, and you're not losing the nose. You're not doing quite as many things to try to keep the thing aero free, I guess would be the word. So it's completely different, really. Yes. So we won the USAC. We won the All-Star Championship back in the 80s, 1988, with a guy named Joe Gertie.
Joe Gertie, yeah.
We won the Outlaw.
Who's helping
He's now
Alex Bowman?
Bowman's guy.
Yeah.
We won the USAC stuff. We won a Silver Crown title with Jerry Coons. We won a sprint car title with Levi Jones, and we won the midget title with Brad Kuhn in the USAC stuff. And then we won Outlaw stuff. We never won the Outlaw title. We run second and third in the points with Jeff Swindell, Craig Delansky, Dave Blaney. Done a lot of stuff with them guys. So we've been blessed to be part of a lot of different programs. So yeah.
And who are you helping here tonight?
We have our own car here. We've revived our 2B car, which was brought to prominence in the early 2000s by Boston Reed, Levi Jones, Dave Darland, Brady Short, Bud Kading. We had a lot of good guys drive for us over the years. And then it sat dormant from the last race we run with it was Bobby East won a dirt race at Bloomington, Indiana for us in 2012. And we just got to the place where we were trying to shut down a little bit and focus more on our business stuff and do things a little different. So we kind of stopped for a while, and now we're reviving that 2B car, and Anton Hernandez is now our driver in this car.
So reviving a little history there.
Yeah, a little bit.
What you're doing, yeah.
We've been blessed. I mean, we've had the opportunity to do a lot of great things at this, and still enjoy doing it. So it works out well.
Do you still get rallied up over racing the way you did 30 years ago? Does it still mean a lot to you? Is it still exciting?
It's
changed.
It's
a
just
lot.
different. I mean, it's different. I mean, it's our there's more. When you're a young single guy, that when you're doing that, it's all you've got, right? So I mean, and now we have businesses. I mean, I have family. I have my wife, and we have grandkids and different things that we have doing all the time. So, I mean, all of it's still exciting. I mean, the day to day at the shop is very intense sometimes too. So yeah, I mean, I like going racing just as much as I did then. So, I mean, the only part of this that's really fun to say that I get amped up. I mean, I don't know that I get amped up. The only thing that's fun is going to the victory lane to get your picture took, right? That's what's fun.
I hear you there.
The rest of it isn't really fun. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's all work.
It's all work is what it is. I totally understand that. Recognize me from being a little kid. We come from the Raleigh Beal Bunch days, yes?
I sure do.
Yeah.
I remember you playing around, horsing around.
Yeah.
Yep.
We go way back to the late 60s, early 70s.
Right.
With Raleigh Beal. He was an amazing man.
I met
yes?
Raleigh in the middle 50s when he drove my dad, my uncle, and George Diener's car.
Yeah.
Yep.
How cool. And you haven't been back to Eldora since?
Probably a year after he won the championship, maybe 2 or 3. When he retired, I never come back.
So mid-70s, you haven't been back.
Nope.
The place has changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Holy cow, it's unbelievable.
Like the Daytona dirt tracks.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
So you were a Vietnam veteran, yes?
Yes, I was.
And you were working with Raleigh, but then you got drafted, yeah?
Yes, I did. 68, April 68.
And so you served in Vietnam?
Vietnam 68 to 69. Finished the Army in 70. Went back to bowling with Raleigh. I bowled with him before I got drafted, and he had me go on his crew. He asked me to come and give him his singles and that, and that's when I got back on the crew. But he knew my dad and my family since the 1950-51.
Yeah. Your time in Vietnam.
Yep.
What was that like?
Oh, nothing to brag about when you're there. I mean, when you finish, you could talk about it, but I lost 2 real good friends, and one of them I was in his wedding. He was 2 tracks ahead of me when he lost his life in a mine. And I still can talk to his wife. She lives locally in Sylvania. I was at his wedding when he got married before we went to Vietnam.
Wow, you guys went to Vietnam together.
Together. We got drafted together, went together. He went to Springfield High School. He worked at Medusa Cement Plant.
And you came home and he didn't. I know the soldiers coming home from Vietnam from that era, you didn't get the ticker tape parades like the World War II soldiers got. You didn't get the best welcome on the way home.
Even the government didn't debrief us. 48 hours before I come home, I was in the jungles, and I landed in California. They gave us a uniform and travel pay and said adios.
Wow.
And there was guys that probably should have been talked to before they were let out into civilization.
It must have been a great feeling to come home, though, to have survived the war.
Yep. You couldn't communicate then like you do now. When you went over there, you were away from your family. You didn't communicate with them.
Yeah, you couldn't text them.
No, just by mail. There was no cell phone.
Sure.
And when I come home, it was nice to see them all. Yes.
What a thrill it must have been to receive a letter from home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They were always like about 2 weeks late when we got them, 2.5, and the same with mine going to them.
Yeah.
So they could get my letter and get the bad notice that I wasn't coming home. But
did you save any of those letters from home?
I think I have them at home somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to read one of those. That would be interesting. Listen, I just wanted to say, I know we go back with the Raleigh Beal Bunch back to the 60s and 70s.
Yep.
And thanks for recognizing me. I was a little kid back then,
Yep,
and
you sure
you
were.
weren't that old back then yourself.
No, I wasn't.
But beyond the racing, thanks first and foremost for the service
Yep.
and the sacrifice you made in Vietnam.
And I'm teaming up here with Larry. He's a good kid.
And he's the driver? No.
He's the driver of the 59 car, and we run locally. We've been hitting the USAC for
All right. Well, good luck
Okay.
to both of you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bubba.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so last year you were chasing all 4 divisions.
Yeah.
This year, just the wing sprint car.
Yeah.
Does that make it a whole lot simpler?
As far as workload, yeah. As a driver, I love racing all 4 here, but just didn't work out in the situation this year for me to be able to do that. And so yeah, we'll just put all of our focus into one class and try and win one of the 4.
Finally, what does the off season hold for you? Peek ahead toward 23. What do you got?
Busy off season. I'm going to go to Australia this winter.
Really?
And run over.
With the NOS team?
No, with Monty Motorsports over in.
Really?
They're based in Western Australia in Perth, so we're going to run in Perth for like 7 races, and then we're going to go to the East Coast and run the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic at Warrnambool, which is their Knoxville Nationals, and race a few races over there. And
have you ever been to Australia?
one time in a midget.
Wow.
And ran a midget over there, and then I've been to New Zealand quite a few times to race midgets over there. So it'll be kind of first time to go over there and race a sprint car and see what we can do.
And what about 23? Same program?
We're still same. We have the same program, just a matter of what we're going to do with the program. So we're still in the works of working on that, and we'll figure that out here, and probably have something out either before or at the PRI show.
Nah, I got to know now.
Okay. I wish I knew.
No,
I would
okay.
be able to tell you. I really
Listen,
don't know. So
I understand.
I'm just we're focused on wrapping up this championship and move on to 2023 after
Well,
that.
congratulations.
Yep.
Not only as the defending champion, but more than likely soon to be the champion back-to-back again.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice work. Really, really nice. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
How many subscribers are you up to now?
Oh yeah,